It's November 24th. This is the town council meeting. We're in council chambers. The mayor's delayed a bit, so I'm filling in as deputy mayor tonight. We will start with O Canada. Okay, I will read the land acknowledgement. The town of Oakville is located on treaty lands and territories of the Mississaugas for the Credit First Nations. We thank the Mississaugas for being stewards of this traditional territory. By 1820, the Mississaugas began welcoming settlers from all over the British Empire. Soon, Oakville was welcoming Black people fleeing the United States. Our Indigenous, white, and Black residents created a community of harmony that makes us proud. By 1857, Ontario recognized Oakville as a town. At Town Hall, we fly the flags of the Mississaugas with the flags of Oakville, Ontario, and Canada to acknowledge our origins. The vibrant livability we are creating for all attracts people from across Canada and the world. We feel sorrow for acts of racism and intolerance suffered across the world, including Canada and here at home. We want our future to be equitable and inclusive for all. We believe the path to truth and reconciliation can unite us. Please keep well, stay safe, and let us on council know of any chance to be helpful to you and yours. Please let us know anytime you can help increase Oakville's harmony, prosperity, and livability. Okay, I understand there's no regrets for tonight, except for the mayor being a bit late. Any declarations of pecuniary interest? Seeing none, I will move on to item 5, confirmation of the minutes of the previous council meeting. These are the minutes of the regular session of October 27th, and that's the only one. Is there a mover and seconder? Councillor Giddings and Councillor Adams? That passes. There are no public presentations for item 6, so we'll move on to committee meeting.
Sorry, Mr. Acting Chair. I have my hand up here.
My apologies, Councillor Mara.
No problem. Just with regards to 7.2, to the minutes from November 17th. I apologize. I'm ahead of the course. I apologize. All good. Sorry.
So November 17th. Okay, we're coming to that. Yep. Bear with us. We'll be there shortly. Okay. So committee minutes. Item 7. We've got Budget Committee October 21st. We've got Budget Committee November 11th, as well as Budget Committee November 13th. Is there a mover and seconder for that? Councillor Shi and Councillor Lashena. Okay. And it's carried. There are no advisory committee meeting minutes. So we'll move on to consent items. And sorry, Councillor Mayor, which minutes were you looking for? Because I don't see.
My apologies, Acting Chair. I think I might be ahead. That might be the next minute we approve the 17th meeting, so my apologies.
Yeah, so I can confirm they'll be at the P&D meeting, the ones you're looking for there. Okay,
you.
so we're on to item 9, consent item. So 9.1 is potential park uses for McCraney Reservoir Park. I know that Chris Mark's here if there's any questions, and Councillor Grant, I know you would like to give a shout out, so it's over to you.
Yeah, I just wanted to separate to thank Director Mark and his team. It's been almost maybe a decade that people in this community have been looking to utilize that park properly for children, and the dedication of your staff to continually go back to the region and keep asking until finally, yes, we've got a yes is amendable. So thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Okay, Councillor Knoll?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I just wanted to echo those comments. We've been working long and hard with staff to develop this concept, and we're glad that it's finally seeing the light of day. Certainly, I would ask my regional colleagues to help me support this when it comes to the region of Halton in the new year, and we look forward to being able to introduce a brand new park to the Ward 5 community and to the greater Oakville neighborhoods. Thank you.
Excellent. And I see Chris Mark's doing a great job in all wards, not just our ward and Brownie. But so it sounds like I have, can I guess that I have a mover and seconder here? So Councillor Grant, Councillor Knoll. Anyone opposed? Seeing none, that carries. Or sorry, should I read the motion?
So just 9.2 is the new item.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So we've all read the motion. That's passed. So 9.2. We need to, this is a bit of a tricky one. We need to first waive procedural. I'll read the procedure and I'll be looking for a mover and seconder. And then we'll get on to the motion, which is 9.2. I'll read that as well. So to waive procedure, in accordance with section 8.3 of the procedural bylaw, the rules of procedure be waived, which requires a minimum of 48 hours public notice for agenda items prior to the meeting to allow item 9.2 transit-oriented community update. Do I have a mover and seconder to waive procedure? Councillor Haslett-Thiel and anybody else? Councillor Duddick? Okay, anybody opposed? Seeing none, that carries. So now on to the update. We've got a detailed report here, and there's also an appendix on that. Are there any questions related to this report? Okay, Councillor Haslett-Thiel, over to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for getting this report to us in as fast as a way as you could. I mean, really, thank you so much. So for clarity, the public now has access to this report, which shares with them that the TOC is, the new Oakville TOC plan is now public, that you have, staff have extended time now to review all the documents you've received. Can you confirm the local advisory committee is having this material sent to them directly?
Through you, Deputy. I cannot confirm that all of the same material will be sent to the LAC. There's over 50 documents, and what's likely to happen is they'll be directed to the ministry or the province's webpage to request what documents they want. We're hopeful that IO staff will put together a PowerPoint or summary in preparation for the LAC meeting on Thursday.
Okay, and my only other question is, did you receive any information about a public meeting being hosted by Infrastructure Ontario to share with the public and receive the public's feedback on their new plan?
Through you, Deputy Mayor, no, we have not.
Great. Thank you for your diligence. We appreciate it.
Okay, Councillor Mayor's got his hand up next.
Thank you very much. I guess the question to staff here, just At what point does this stop being the town of Oakville's responsibility to do all this work and all the resources and all the legwork and become the province's responsibility to start doing this?
Through you, Deputy Mayor, that's an interesting question, one that may not have a perfectly clear answer. This is an application that is not with the town. It's with the province. And the province has sent us material for feedback. The response in this kind of situation is it's in the town's best interest to do what it can to provide thoughtful technical reply to the materials sent to it for review, so that as we move along in this path, there is as few as problems as possible from a technical side.
So can we put a dollar value on the amount of time that we're spending to do the province's work on their behalf in terms of communicating what they are doing, and that our town and resources and numerous planning officials all have to put into the communication side that they're not doing? Is it possible to do that?
Through you, Deputy Mayor. Certainly we have a lot of in-house staff, not consultants, that have provided a lot of feedback on that. I'm not sure it would be something that could be easily calculated. So no, I don't have such a figure for you, Councillor.
Well, then I might ask you this: is it becoming overly burdensome on staff to continue to have to communicate on behalf of the province on what they're doing?
Through you, Deputy Mayor. I mean, this is a significant proposal. Proposals of this scale do have an effect on the proportion of time and weight that staff will give it. So yes, it's been very involved. It has occupied a lot of staff time, but it's not unusual given the scale of the proposal.
Yeah, I guess I'm not looking for the unusualness. I think we all realize the unusualness of it, but for us to continue to carry the ball up the field on the province's behalf, is that unusual?
Through you, Deputy Mayor, I don't know if I would characterize it that way. The province is asked us, the town, for its feedback on the technical work done. It is incumbent upon us and wise for us to provide such feedback.
And do we have a sense that the province is listening to the feedback that we've been giving them over the past 3 years? Has it been advantageous for us to give our feedback to them and we've seen results out of that?
Maybe I'll recognize the CAO who's.
I just wanted to respond to the earlier question you had about resourcing and the impact on that. The province had in their initial letter, and the conversation has continued, that they will, to some extent, reimburse us for the time period, for the technical review that we've undertaken. And so that was an offer that they'd made initially. We've continued that conversation. It has not finalized yet, but we're expecting that we should be able to get some reimbursement for the time in which we've spent from the very beginning of the talk, as well as whatever time is left in this process. So I just wanted to clarify that that was an offer that's out there that the province has made.
And do we have anything in writing to that offer? Or that's just they've said, yeah, I mean, we've all heard about the money we're getting for DCs and we'll be made whole as well. And I'm still waiting for that check to come into the town. So I'm wondering where we are on that one.
So I'm referencing the letter that was originally submitted to us, back in 23, I think it was, where they acknowledged that there would be a resourcing agreement. We have not seen an agreement to date, but we understand that should be coming fairly soon.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Acting Chair.
Okay. Anybody else questions? No? Okay. Seeing none, I'll look for a mover and seconder that the report from Community Development Commission titled Transit Oriented Community TOC Update dated November 24th, 2025 be received. Is there a mover and seconder? Councillor Chisholm and Councillor Giddings. Okay, anybody opposed? No, the motion carries. All right, item 10, confidential consent items. There are none. Item 11 is discussion items. 11.1 is the item to support the need for provincial action on salt pollution from road salt. And I think, Councillor O'Meara, do you want to speak to this? I know we have,
Yeah, I'm happy to. Thank you, Acting Chair. I know a number of us have received emails over the past few months. Again, in my position with the Region of Halton on the Great Lakes St. Lawrence Cities Initiative, we had a presentation about the impacts of salt and oversalting in our lakes and in our river basins and in our water and aquifers and these sorts of things. And really what drives a lot of this is liability issues, and making sure that we can show a minimal liability threshold. We all get calls about there's not enough salt, there's too much salt, my dog gets salt, don't have salt. I mean, it's back and forth. And what we're really doing is looking to the province to set a different standard here, to set some guidelines, to do some work and look into what's enough, what's the liability threshold, and how do we look at downstream impacts from road salt. And there are other opportunities, there are other mechanisms we can use, from brines to they're doing incredible things with beer as well in terms of road salt and road manicures. They're doing a number of different studies, but until we get at the holistic sort of higher approach, I think we need to have the province take a look at that holistically and make some. And so all this motion is really doing is asking the province to step in and take a look at how much salt we do use, and is that the best way, and are there other alternatives, and how do we move forward collectively on this? And I think that's a good thing. We have an incredible team here at the town of Oakville who look after our roads and sidewalks, and this is not to begrudge any of that in any way. This is just about a larger sort of level on how we use salt and where that ends up in our lakes and rivers, and what the effects of that are, and how we can move forward from here. So I appreciate that, Mr. Acting Chair, for the moment.
thank you, Councillor O'Meara. I certainly learned something new about uses for beer. Thanks for enlightening us. And Councillor Duddick, did you want to speak to it at all?
No, actually, I think Councillor O'Meara has covered it well, and I thank him for bringing this forward.
Okay, and it's certainly a very detailed notice of motion, so I won't read it all. But the motion is moved by Councillor O'Meara, seconded by Councillor Duddick. Is there anybody opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. Yeah, so I'm just going to flip a few pages forward. Okay, now on to 11.2. The 2025 Neighborhood Traffic Safety Program update. We've got Mohammed Imran. He's got a presentation, I believe. Lynn Rogers as well. Okay, we're going to tag team it there. Excellent.
Good evening, Acting Mayor and members of Council. Transportation and engineering staff are pleased to present the 2025 update on Oakville's Neighborhood Traffic Safety Program. This program is a cornerstone of the town's commitment to creating safe, livable communities by addressing speeding, aggressive driving, and improving pedestrian and cyclist safety. Over the past year, we have advanced traffic calming measures, enhanced school zone protections, and have adapted to legislative changes such as the discontinuation of automatic speed enforcement. Tonight, I have with me Mohammed Imran, Manager of Neighborhood Traffic, who will share the key achievements of this program and our priorities for 2026 as we continue to work towards safer streets in the town of Oakville.
Good evening, Deputy Mayor and Council members. I'm pleased to provide the fourth annual update on the Neighborhood Traffic Safety Program. First, I would like to talk about resident inquiries. This graph shows how many resident inquiries we receive each year through Service Oakville. As town continues to grow, we are seeing a significant increase in traffic-related resident inquiries. As you can see on the graph, we had 153 resident inquiries in 2019, and the number has grown each year. This year, up to November 19th, we are already nearing 700 inquiries. Typically, we receive requests for always stop, PXO, traffic signal installations, sightline assessments, excessive speeding concerns, parking reviews, signal timing reviews, or left turn phase assessments. It's important that these requests go through Service Oakville because it helps us to track and resolve these requests and respond to the residents. I'll begin with an overview of the Neighborhood Traffic Safety Program. It includes these road safety initiatives which support Council's direction to improve safety and mobility for all road users. We had a very strong year. We constructed the highest number of PXOs and traffic calming projects in a single year, and we launched and operated AC program until its discontinuation. In the following slides, I'll provide overview of the planned and completed work and budget requests for each component of the program. Starting from traffic calming, the first major component of the program. As per our traffic calming process, traffic calming treatment types for any road are selected based on its road classification. Local and minor collector roads receive vertical deflection treatments such as speed cushions, and major collectors and arterial roads receive horizontal deflection treatments or passive treatments like curb extensions, lateral shift, or radar speed display signs. Since we revised our traffic calming process from a 5-step to a 4-step process in 2023, we have been able to deliver traffic calming projects more efficiently. Now, a typical project takes 12 to 18 months from initial request to construction. For example, we received 12 assessment requests in December 2024 and early this year. We collected data and completed assessments in spring 2025, and design, public consultation, and construction for warranted streets will be done in 2026. This means the total turnaround time for these requests will be up to 18 months. We received another eight assessment requests this summer, and we are assessing these streets this fall. Warranted streets will have traffic calming in 2026. These streets will see traffic calming installed within 12 months of initial request. For 2026, we have requested budget for 10 traffic calming location for streets. We already have 6 warranted streets, and we have capacity to add 4 more from fall assessments to the next year's construction list. Any assessment requests that we are receiving now or until the end of the year, they will be assessed in spring 2026 and added to 2027 implementation list. This year, we had great success in delivering all 3 types of traffic calming projects. For local streets, we completed traffic calming design and public consultation for 11 streets, and 8 streets qualified the resident surveys and proceeded to construction. Speed cushion construction has been completed on all streets except Tennyson Drive, where we had to hold off construction because of region's work. We'll install the speed cushions once region completes their work. For traffic calming in school zone on major collectors and arterial roads, we completed construction in 8 school zones this summer. Last year, Council may recall, we introduced level 1 traffic calming on streets that do not meet the traffic calming threshold and fall short by 2 km/h. These are temporary installations of in-street flexible signs or radar speed display signs for 2 years. This year, we installed these treatments on 3 streets, Bloomfield Drive, Douglas Drive, and Falling Green Drive. Combining all 3 types, we are implementing traffic calming on 19 streets this year. Next year, we'll implement traffic calming in 4 school zones, up to 10 local streets, and level 1 traffic calming on 4 streets, 3 streets from last year, and 1 street which was warranted this year, that's Watson Avenue. We are requesting $1.9 million for traffic calming program in 2026 budget. Next, I'll speak about our PXO program and the progress we have made this year. This year marks our highest number of PXOs installations in any year. Installation of 16 PXOs has been completed as part of capital program, and installation of 12 PXOs is in progress as part of Crosstown Trail construction. It will bring the total number of operational PXOs to 116. In 2026, installation of 15 PXOs will be completed by Q2 2026, and installation of another 12 PXOs will be completed in fall 2026. It will bring the total number of operational PXOs to 143, and this will complete the entire list of originally identified PXOs in 2017 pedestrian safety study. This year, we have initiated an update to the pedestrian safety study. It's in progress, and the purpose of this study is to identify new desired lines and new locations for PXO installations. And the PXO installations at these newly warranted streets or newly recommended streets will start from 2027. This year, we are also installing lighting at 5 existing PXOs to improve illumination, and will continue based on 5 locations per year in future years. We are requesting $1.48 million for PXO program in 2026 budget. This slide outlines our work on road safety initiatives and community safety zones. We conduct wide range of assessments for road safety initiatives, including always stop reviews, intersection improvements, advanced left turn phase assessments, and signal warrant assessments. These are mostly reactive assessments as a result of resident concerns, which are followed by traffic studies, assessments, and implementation of safety countermeasures. We assess crossing guard locations, and we regularly update council on the warranted locations through a council memo. This year, we completed intersection improvements at 6 always stop controlled intersections, and we added 3 new crossing guard locations. We also implement leading pedestrian interval at signalized intersections to improve pedestrian safety. LPI provides pedestrians with a 5-second head start before vehicles receive green light. This allows pedestrians to start walking before vehicles begin turning, which improves their visibility in the crosswalk and reduces conflicts with the turning traffic. We have been implementing LPIs based on received concerns. This year, as part of pedestrian safety study update, we are establishing a town-wide criteria for implementing LPIs proactively. Similarly, for community safety zones, we have been doing community safety zone assessments based on received requests. This year, we expanded our approach and completed a town-wide scan and identified 30 streets for community safety zone assessments. We assessed these streets, and 27 of them warranted, and the implementation of these 27 community safety zones will be completed in Q1 2026. Next year, we'll also complete design and construction for safety treatments on Marine Drive between East Street and Third Line. A budget request of $446,000 is included in 2026 budget for these road safety initiatives. We have also requested $213,000 in 2026 budget for conducting in-service road safety reviews. This slide provides overview of the traffic signal construction and our efforts to optimize traffic signals. Construction of traffic signals on Glen Ashton and Caldwell will be completed by mid-December. Installation of 3 pedestrian signals will be completed in Q2 2026. And traffic signals on Dundas Street and Taunton Street will be designed and constructed by Halton Region. We'll share 50% of the cost with the region. Next year, we'll upgrade the PXO on Bronte Road and Sovereign Street to a pedestrian signal. We are requesting budget of $550,000 for traffic signal related projects in 2026 budget. Now I'll explain about explain about the operational side of traffic signals. We optimize traffic signals along major corridors to improve traffic flow. Traffic signal optimization is one of the most effective ways to improve traffic flow and reduce travel time. It's low cost, high impact improvement which makes a noticeable difference in travel time with less red light stops and smooth traffic flow during peak periods. It's implemented using data-driven analysis and modern signal performance tools, which allows us to fine-tune signal timings based on operating conditions. In simple terms, signal optimization means coordinating the green lights along a corridor so that vehicles can move through a series of intersections without stopping. For example, on the slide, we have 8-line corridor. If a vehicle starts from northbound from Green Bay Drive, it should, by the time it gets to a new next intersection, it will get a green light. It will enter in a green phase. Similarly, in the following intersections also, by the time it gets to a next intersection, it will keep getting the green lights. This year, we are optimizing signals along 8th line and Cornwall Road, and we'll be implementing it on 6th line next year in 2026. A budget request of $86,000 is included in 2026 budget for traffic signal optimization projects. This part of update covers the traffic safety studies and our data collection program. First, I would like to start with our data collection program. We have a very comprehensive traffic data collection program to collect data for various traffic assessments. Because resident inquiries have been increasing, our data collection program has also expanded to keep up the growing demand. To make sure that data reflects the typical traffic conditions, we purposely conduct our traffic studies in spring and fall. Because winter traffic is impacted by weather and summer traffic drops because schools are closed and commuter patterns change. Spring and fall counts give us a most accurate picture of the normal traffic volumes and speeds on any road. As part of the program, we also conduct neighborhood-wide studies, noise assessments, and other safety studies based on the nature and extents of the issue. This year, we completed Bronte Road one-way assessment study and reported back to council. 2026 budget request for traffic studies and data collection is $126,000. Alongside all the technical work that we do, communication and community engagement continue to be key parts of our program. Keeping residents informed and involved helps ensure our safety initiatives reflect real community needs. This year, we continued with pedestrian and traffic safety campaigns using transit shelter ads. We did public consultation for traffic calming projects to qualify streets for traffic calming. We conducted public consultation on Bronte Road one-way study results. This year, we also attended annual general meetings of 2 resident associations. The results of the West Harbor traffic safety study were presented to the residents in the Resident Association's annual general meeting. We also attended the West River Resident Association's annual general meeting and presented updates on the traffic projects in the area. We have been updating residents through website updates, social media campaigns, and news releases at the launch and the discontinuation of the ASC program. Now I'll provide a brief update on the ASC program and its discontinuation. Bill 56 was passed and the ASC program was discontinued from November 14th. All ASC cameras and signs have been removed. We updated ASC website to reflect the program discontinuation. From January 22nd to November 13th, we operated ASC cameras for 290 days in 25 community safety zones. And ASC camera captured over 38,000 speeding infractions during this time. Province has established a road safety initiative fund and is allocating $200 million for municipalities impacted due to discontinuation of the ASC program. Province has allocated interim funding of $891,000 for Oakville to be spent in former ASC site exclusively on traffic calming, targeted enforcement, enhanced signage, and radar speed display signs. Ministry of Transportation will provide application details in early January 2026 and will determine the final allocation for each municipality. This slide summarizes the 2026 budget request for each component of the neighborhood traffic safety program. We had 2025 as one of our most productive years for delivering neighborhood traffic safety program projects. We are delivering more safety improvements in more locations and faster than before. Our 2026 work plan builds on these successes with a budget request of $4.89 million for investing in road safety initiatives. Finally, these three recommendations are being presented to Council for consideration: continued implementation of the Neighborhood Traffic Safety Program, proposed revisions to the Community Safety Zone assessment criteria, and approval of school bus lay-by at E.J. James Public School. That concludes my annual update on the program. I'll be pleased to answer any questions that council members may have.
Okay, thank you for that presentation, Mr. Imran. We always enjoy hearing how we're making progress in this area. And thanks for the timely update on Bill 56. And it's good to hear that we're eligible for the Road Safety Fund. And as soon as you mentioned ASE, I saw a lot of hands go up. So let's start with Councillor Algar. I think you're, yeah.
Thank you, through your acting mayor. Excellent presentation, but what was even more excellent was with the report itself with the numbers. And I'm just curious, would it be possible to take the maximum speed ticketed and the times of day, if you could say between 10 hours in the daytime period instead of the 24 hours? Because, you know, when you think of where the cameras were in front of safety, in front of schools primarily, and when you see the drivers are traveling by there at 137 kilometers an hour, 125, 132, 91, 90, like, I'm sorry, but well, I guess I'll never get off that beating the horse that we should have kept the automated speed enforcement. But like, is there any way we as counselors would know just an area where it is really bad in the daytime when children are walking across the street to and from school?
Through you, Mr. Chair, like, we don't have automated speed enforcement program now, but we keep doing the speed studies to collect data for various assessments like traffic calming, or we collect data so we can identify the location where the high flyers are, where like the high speeding is occurring, and that can be shared with police to do the traditional enforcement.
But I mean, I'm actually looking at time of day also. It's like in the time when schools are when their kids are at schools or after school for a while, it's at a certain time. Because I know that was one of the complaints. They're running 24 hours a day. But your numbers, you blow me away with the numbers you've come up with. Now, the next thing is putting in the new program with curbs and signs and everything. At St. Matthew's School, what was the cost to put in that little traffic calming project?
Through you, Mr. Chair, the cost for St. Matthew should be under 200,000, but I can confirm that exactly. I don't remember the cost.
Okay, but ballpark. So we're not talking 100. So basically, we're at 200,000. So okay, since there's so many new locations where this is being done, would it be possible for staff to track the damage that's going to be showing up in the spring after the snowplows have gone through all winter? Because all I see is potential for, well, signs will be down for sure. The curbs, I think, will be all smashed to pieces. And I'm just curious to see whether that can come back, because people have to know what we're trying to do, and they're still speeding. So whatever we can do, I'd appreciate it. Hi, Lynn.
Councillor Rogers.
Yes, Council. Director.
Not yet.
Through the chair, yes, we've, as all of our traffic calming implementation through the design as well as through the construction and the implementation stage, we will work with our road safety operation team to determine if there's any impacts to the implemented works, and just ensure that that is noted and again assessed as we design and continue the program.
I appreciate that, because I think the costs are going to be big in the spring. Where you've done it, they've done a good job because we don't have the cameras anymore, but it could have been done so differently. That's all I have to say. I really appreciate what you're trying to do. It's like pushing with a rope. I thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Algar. And just for clarity, over to Imran or Director Rogers, not Councillor Rogers. The lateral shifts that Councillor Algar was talking about, we've had some in place for a few years. I know I've driven past one towards a daycare. So they've been through at least 1 or 2 winters. Have they held up through the plowing and stuff?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Yes, they held. There are some damages, but we are working with our road operations to have different equipment for those kind of locations so that there are no damages. And there were some damages on Heritage Way to the flexible posts also, but those posts can be replaced. But as far as curbs are concerned, not any major damage.
Okay, thank you for that clarity. Over to Councillor Adams.
Thanks very much. I have about 3 questions maybe. The first is on the community safety zone thresholds. What is the threshold for traffic volume that we're talking about for the different types of roads? So the report talks about changing it to 3 points for every 1,000 vehicles per day in excess of the threshold volume for the applicable road class. What are the threshold numbers for the applicable road classes?
Through you, Mr. Chair, Councillor Adams, the threshold for local street is 1,500 vehicles, 24-hour volume.
1,500?
1,500.
Okay.
For major collectors is 5,000, and for arterials, I can give you that. I don't remember off my head.
So
it's
the arterials
close
would...
to 15,000.
So those would be the minor arterials like 8th line, 6th line?
Both minor and major arterials, they have 15,000 threshold for volume.
Okay, so that would be helpful if you wouldn't mind sharing that, along with the map that would go with them, just to make sure that we understand what the implication is for those roads. Some of them you might not want, I agree, you might not want to just add them in, but there might be sections of them that would be, that would meet the criteria because of other things. Second question for you is you spoke about the signal optimization. In particular, you mentioned 8th line. What will success look like on 8th line when signal optimization happens? What are we going to notice? How do we see it? How do we know it worked?
Through you, Mr. Chair, typically for these kind of implementations, we do before and after studies that give the result, like how much is the improvement in travel time. So we will do the after studies after implementation, and we can provide you the improvement in travel time on 8th line.
And so you'd see it over a 24-hour period or during rush hour periods?
Rush hours,
or
during
okay.
rush hour, peak hours.
Okay, I'd be interested in seeing what we've got now, or most recently. I know what the volume statistics for 8th line are really high, and they're only growing because of the growth north of Dundas. Then my last question for you is on the road safety fund from the province. Does it require us to spend that money only in the locations where the ASC cameras were?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes. It's exclusively in former ASC sites. The letter that we had from Ministry of Transportation is former ASC sites, and those 4 treatments they mentioned, like it's traffic calming, radar speed display signs, enhanced signage, and just for those treatments and former ASC sites.
And so we're going to have a report later on about what we might do to the various ASC sites,
Yes.
where it might actually be applicable, because there might be ASC sites where we wouldn't want to do certain things. Might want to put signs up, I guess, but you might not want to put speed bumps in, for example.
Councillor Adams, once we get the funds, we will prepare a plan for those ASC sites to spend these funds, and we can report back on that.
Okay, thank you very much. I look forward to that, and thank you for all the work. I have noticed the improvement in the speed by which you guys turn stuff around from years past. So I congratulate you on your ability to get stuff to construction and underway and on the street.
Thank you, Councillor Adams. And just for clarity, so the former ASE sites, was that just the last location they were at, or some of them rotated around?
Mr. Chair, like the total, we had 25 sites that we installed the ASC cameras. It's not just the recent ones, it's all the
25
sites that had the cameras.
Okay,
we have
good.
25 sites.
Good. Okay. Thank you for that. Next up is Councillor Haslett-Thiel.
Thank you, through you, Acting Mayor McNeese. So most of it you've answered for us in advance, so I appreciate that. I just wanted to clarify. So it's a total of 50 points to qualify to be a CSV. So if you have 2 parks on the same road, do you count the park twice?
Twice.
Perfect. Okay. And then could you just give me a little bit more clarity on the impact of changing this 3 points for every 1,000 vehicles on a residential street?
Through you, Mr. Chair, residential streets will not have that much of an impact. in fact, because this is these are 3 points per 1,000 vehicles. So the reason for change was, for example, third line, it has traffic volume like more than 17,000. So without any other factor, third line could warrant for community safety zone. That's the reason we are changing, so that the streets don't get warranted just based on volume.
Okay. So thank you for that clarity. In terms of the flashing 40 signs that were removed, are we waiting then for the ASC analysis before we return those flashing signs?
Through you, Mr. Chair. Yes, Councillor Hasratil, we are waiting because we need to confirm if, because province is giving different sign sizes and mandating to install radar speed display signs in the flashing 40 zones. We need to confirm if flashing 40s can operate on 2 different speeds, or once we get all the details from for the ASC sites, after that we can decide whether we can install the flashing 40s or not.
Okay. So thank you for that. Level 1. If a street, so right now your rules are saying within 2 kilometers. So one of the challenges, if you could think back to when we started talking about this level 1 option, was if a street had been turned to 40 kilometers, they would automatically have met the criteria, the speed criteria. But we weren't turning every street into 40 kilometers. On behalf of residents who have tried, they would desperately like their street to be 40, but it's not 40. They won't be a CSV. Is there a method or a process that might allow them to choose that their street be 40?
Through the chair. So it's an interesting question. With respect to requests, if you would, for lack of a better term, for a 40 zone, I mean, we do look at the 40 zone for specifically school zone areas, so that there is a connection between slower speeds and those vulnerable areas. I would suggest right now we don't have a program per se to look at a specific request, but if the residents group or the residents would like to put in a request, we can look at that and look at the contextual request and see whether it is appropriate to deem another area that's outside of a school zone at the 40 kilometers. But without knowing that information today, it's hard for us to say, but we would definitely consider a particular street.
Because we've had, I'll use Spruce as an example. It's a cut-through street to get around Cornwall. They've tried, they've diligently gone, and the street is all in on wanting traffic calming, but they don't meet the threshold because depending on when it's done, how it's done, the frustration of people, I mean, maybe an assurance when the TOC starts, they'll hit the number. But they have a school bus that comes along and the kids have to walk to that area, and there's a level of anxiousness now. So if your answer is that I need them to send you a request, I will do that.
Commissioner Fu.
Yeah, through you, Deputy Mayor. As council is aware, we've done quite a bit of studies on the 40K, and we talked about whether we convert the entire town to the local street to 40K. And in the pilot areas, we have used before and after study to prove that the speed actually doesn't slow down, and therefore there was no warranted methodology to keep 40K and apply it town-wide. I would hesitant to take a look at unique requests specific for 40K when there's no other, as Director Rogers mentions, no other locations that warrants it. For example, schools, parks, or special reasons, community centers, why a certain area should go down to 40K. So I would just, each of these 40K studies are quite a bit of effort as well as significant capital dollars. It takes pilot studies, 2 rounds. If last time it took about 1.5 years of counts to prove whether it's warranted or not. So I would just hesitant to take a look at just unique request with no other contextual reasons. So perhaps we could chat with you, Councillor, offline to see if the spruce, if there's a reason for us to even request it in the first place.
Well, I'm going to look at Imran. He knows exactly what I'm about to say, so I won't repeat myself, Imran. We'll take it offline. But one of the reasons people want to go to 40 is if it could get them to level 1 and get them a couple bumps on the road to slow people down, that's exactly why they want it. That, you know, and because bumps do make a difference. It's not the 40, it's the bumps. And they can't get bumps if they are at 50 and they have to hit the 85th percentile, or now, you know, just slightly less to even get what you did on Douglas. And Douglas is a success story. The level 1 on Douglas has made a difference. I mean, I can actually walk that street without getting accosted right now because people are very happy that they had those signs all the way down the middle of the road. So I'm positively saying you've got something that works. I got to figure out a way to get it for the street. You know, the 1 or 2 streets left that really are saying, we just want to slow them down. So I'll leave it there. Thank you.
Okay, Councillor Shi.
Thank you, Mr. Acting Mayor. Thank you for the presentation. So the report I saw, there is a lot of the dangerous speeding in our school zone, like Councillor Elga point that there is insane some numbers how fast they are driving. So my general question is, without ASE, so what we can do to keep our street safe? And it's basically like I count down all those streets which they have issued the most penalties, like Lakeshore, 6th Line, Rebecca Street. What are we going to do with this street? So we will work cooperate with the Holden Police to get more enforcement, and what we can do for that. Thank you.
Through you, Mr. Chair, Councillor Shea, we don't have legal authority to operate ASC now. We have other tools like traffic calming. And provinces also mandating to install like radar speed display signs, like the bigger size signs, enhanced signage. That information still have to come from the province, but we can rely on that plus traditional enforcement. Those are the tools we can use, right, to curb this kind of speeding behavior.
Okay, thank you.
So essentially, we're back to where we were before ASC, and with a little bit of sprinkling of some funds from the Road Safety Fund. Is that fair to say? Okay, great. Councillor O'Meara.
Thanks so much, Acting Chair. We had decided that we were going to post speed limits speed data for individual roads online when this council in its infinite wisdom decided not to decrease speed limits to 40 kilometers an hour, but we said we would post the speed limits online. So are those limits accessible right now online, and can people log on and see what the latest speed survey for an individual road is? Is that up and running?
Through you, Mr. Chair, Councillor O'Meara, that map needs some link. That map get all the speed data from our traffic data software, traffic engineering software. So that software was moved to cloud, and that link has been broken. So our IT is working on that. We will establish that link again, and all the speed data will be, once we get the data in our database, it will automatically be populated in that map. That map link is on the traffic calming page, website page. So that will be updated. We'll update you once that link is established again.
So to be clear, it's not available right now.
It's not available right now because our software, our data bank, that moved to cloud. So because of that, that link is broken.
Okay, so do we have a timeline on when we're going to be able to direct residents to? They say there's too much speeding on my street, and we can go and say follow this link and see what your latest data says. Do we have a timeline on that?
I can check and provide you the timelines.
That would be great. And then again, just with that, instead of the squeaky wheel gets the grease here, is there a program to just test to track streets every 3, 4, 5, like 5 years, like what, rather than just having counselors say you got to do it? What's the program to monitor streets so that they're constantly updated? Like, is there a threshold, or is there some sort of a system we're putting in place that we can point and say, we do it every 5 years, your street will be done every 5 years, and here's the last data point that we have. Do we have a program there like that?
Councillor Mera, we follow our traffic calming process. So any street which is not warranted, that get evaluated after 2 years, not before that. So because there are so many requests, we cannot evaluate all the streets every year. So we have to wait for 2 years when we assess the street again.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate even waiting 3 or 4 years. I don't think people will mind that much, just as long as they know it's been done. At some point in the last 3 or 4 years, we can say we've done your street and it's not a problem. And in another 4 years, it might be a problem, but we'll check it then. So anyway, I appreciate that, and I look forward to the update on when it's gone live. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks for those questions. Councillor Giddings.
Thank you, through you, Chair. First of all, Imran, thank you very much for your detailed responses earlier today. We had a number of word-specific questions, and thank you for that, so that saves us some time. In terms of leading pedestrian interval implementation, I get it. It's 3, 4, 5 seconds to give the pedestrians or walkers a head start so they appear in front of the car, if the car's decided to stop at the red light. Will that be in place in downtown Oakville? I don't believe it's there currently.
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, all intersections, like even including downtown intersections, so that as part of the study that are being assessed, and study will provide us a criteria. Because there are 2 different approaches. Some municipalities are implementing LPI at each and every signalized intersections. There are pros and cons, and other approaches to install only at locations where there are more pedestrians or they meet some criteria. So our study will determine like which way we want to go. So most likely, from my experience, downtown intersections will qualify for that criteria because they have high pedestrian volume.
Thank you. Currently, a pedestrian must push the button to get the green to walk.
Through you, Mr. Chair, downtown intersections are different. Downtown intersections, pedestrians don't have to push the button because 2 years ago we installed detection software for those intersections.
So the new,
if a
that covers all of them now?
Downtown intersections only, because that can be done only at intersections which have new generation cameras, video detection cameras. And downtown intersections do have new generation cameras. So over there, pedestrians, if they are in the detection zone, they get the walk phase automatically.
Great, thank you.
Last but not least, Councillor Chisholm.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick question on page 20 with respect to the ASE program with respect to the finances. I just wanted to understand that once this has been pulled out, it does not cost anything to the municipality. I'm looking at these numbers. It would say that the ASE program is about 1.4 million, but our collections and penalties to date, collected penalties 2,245,000. So I'm assuming we're in good shape on this. We're not losing any money or we're outstanding. Is that correct?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, that's correct. Our total cost of the ASC program since 2021, 1.445 million, which is an appendix 1.458 million. And our ASC ticket penalty amount is more, but still we don't have exact numbers. We have exact number of tickets that we issued until November 13th, which is 38,072 tickets. But still, some of the tickets, they have 30 days to pay the ticket. So by end of December, we'll get the clear picture. But we are not losing any money, but we will be projecting to have 1.5 million revenue. And that revenue, we will need to report to Ministry of Transportation to be eligible for funding.
Thanks, Aaron. Will you come back with a report on the actuals on that finance?
Through you, Mr. Chair, yes, we can report on that.
Yes, I want to congratulate you on the report and what you've done to date. It is a major undertaking. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Councillor Chisholm. And I think we'll get some numbers at budget as well about ASE. So we'll have some more details on Thursday, potentially. Councillor Haslett-Thiel, second time around.
Thank you. So just for clarification, so while we are hopefully going to have covered all our costs and the contract fees are now going to be waived, et cetera, we have in fact lost potential revenue that was to subsidize the 4-point-some odd million dollars in community safety that you've put forward in the budget. Is that accurate?
Through you, Mr. Chair, we were expecting to fund the neighborhood traffic safety program like traffic calming and other initiatives through ASC, but that's not there anymore.
Right. Thanks very much.
In that sense, yes, we will lose that money, but overall, from ASC program perspective, we are not losing anything.
Understood.
Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Okay, Councillor Chisholm, I think your mic's still on there. Anybody else with questions? Seeing none, we've got a three-part motion and everyone's got it in front of them. Is there a mover and seconder? Councillor Knoll and Councillor Longo. All right, got it covered. Anybody opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. All right, now we're on to 11.3, which is 2026. That's that time of year. 2026 councillor appointments to committees. And we have a few vacancies that we'd like to discuss or seek volunteers first. There's one we can get right off the list. Heritage Oakville Committee, Councillor Longo is interested in filling the vacancy there. We've also got a vacancy for the Accessibility Advisory Committee and the Appeals and Property Standards Committee. I understand Councillor Duddick was... Sorry, go ahead, Councillor Duddick.
I was going to say I'd offer my name for the Appeals Committee.
Okay, Councillor Duddick for Appeals. We don't need to vote it all at once. Okay, Councillor Chisholm.
Kathy beat me to it.
There was a
Thank
lineup
you.
for Appeals. Yeah. How about anyone for Accessibility Advisory Committee? Councillor Gideons, are you willing to do it again?
I'd be happy to serve again. I've been doing it for over 11 years, and it's an important committee. I'm happy to do it. I just didn't want to block anyone else from having the opportunity.
And I don't see anyone else with their hand up, so I think we would appreciate your service there again. You're doing a fantastic job. Councillor Hassett-Thiel.
Can you just verify that I am on that appeals committee?
So my understanding is Councillor Duddick had submitted her name this afternoon. Is that correct? Right. Okay. So who we've got? So I'll start from the top. Accessibility Advisory Committee, Councillor Giddings. Appeals Committee and Property Standards, we have Councillor Adams, Councillor Elgar, Councillor Grant, Councillor Shee, and Duddick, right? Okay, Duddick. And then Heritage, Oakville, myself, Councillor McNeese, and Councillor Longo. And OMSAR, formerly Tow Wharf, Councillor O'Mara. Okay. Sorry, Councillor Duddick, do you want to go first?
Yeah, I was just going to say, Mr. Acting Chair, I'll withdraw my name if there's two others who would like to serve. I only was doing it to fill a vacancy because I didn't want it going vacant. So I'll withdraw or step down. Thanks.
Okay. Councillor Hassett-Thiel, you're good with that? Okay, so we've problem solved. So again, appeals is Councillor Adams, Elgar, Grant, Shee, and Councillor Haslett-Thiel. All right, so now I think I need a mover and seconder. So I've gone through the whole list of who's where. So I'll look for a mover and seconder for that list, Councillor Duddick and Councillor Elgar. Anybody opposed? Seeing none, that motion carries. Moving right along here. Item 12, confidential discussion items, there's none. Item 13 is the staff memos. There's 6 of them. Are there any questions on any of these? Is that an old hand, Councillor? Oh, no, new hand. Okay. Councillor Hassett-Thiel.
Thank you, through you, Acting Mayor. I have 2 questions on 2 different items. So I'm going to start with 13.2. In the past, and I think Director Clark may be able to help with this, there was some inquiry about a battery plant being located in Oakville. And I just want to make sure that I understand, does this in any way affect how we would assess the possibility of a battery plant being on brownfields?
Through you, Chair. Specific to, I'm going to have to take a further look. I don't believe so, but I do want to take a further look into that. Bill 40 is quite specific to another. Let me back up. With the IESO and their long-term procurement requirements, the battery storage phase that had happened has come and gone, and Oakville's not part of that. There's no indication that there's going to be a further request for future battery storage at this time. But let me just go back and confirm that to be certain with regard to the battery storage for you.
I'd appreciate that, because if in fact it is, then at least safety should be identified.
Okay.
You and I, we spent some time on that one together.
We did, yeah.
Thank you. And my other is on 13.6, and I just want to get clarity, because it is, as you read it, it's basically downloading the responsibilities around noise, odor, dust to the town staff to respond to. And as all of council will know, we have a couple of warehouses that odor, dust, and noise may very well become a serious concern. So is this download of responsibility, will at some point there be a, like you say, send it into Service Oakville, there'll be a tally, but we know that the community has concerns, anticipate those concerns. Is there a threshold that the ministry would then get involved?
So the ministry has said that if it is low risk, that it be sent to the local to deal with. So, which is not considered to be a huge extra workload for us, because we do have our own bylaws in place, processes in place to handle this. In the event that something comes our way from the province that we were concerned didn't meet the definition of low risk, then the ministry is open to having a conversation about where it best fits.
Okay, but is it possible then, whether it's arrived in your mailboxes yet or not, there is a request to put noise monitoring and air monitoring stations in place. Is that something we could proactively look at, so we are being more proactive about it versus reactive in situations? I know in a couple of other wards there are sites that there's concerns about noise or odor, et cetera. Is that an option that we could look at to mitigate, this having to call to complain versus identifying and the trends of what's happening?
I'm going to want to get back to you on that one.
Okay, yeah. Thanks very much.
Okay, Councillor Chisholm.
Thank you, Chair. Just on the information, I don't know which one is 1304. That's the seniors' terms of reference. Just for clarity's sake, I guess to direct that through staff, through you, Mr. Chair, with respect to, is this not a governance MOU rather than a terms of reference, or is the terms of reference is within the governance of the seniors? I think there was an MOU, a governance MOU done years ago. Is that still in effect?
Okay, I think it'd be Commissioner Damasco. Yeah.
Well, Christine is online, or
sorry, Christine.
Paul would be fine.
I think Paul sent it to Christina. Yeah.
Thank you. Through the chair to Councillor Chisholm. It's an update. So the terms of reference document was established, I think, probably three years ago, approved by council initially, but doesn't require ongoing council approval. It just documents the relationships of the seniors services volunteer groups to their governance, but it's not an MOU, governance MOU. It's just the terms of reference document. And as part of our commitment is to review that it previously was on a 2-year cycle. We're now changing it to 3 years just from the amount of labor for the volunteers that's involved. And there was only minor changes that were made to very, very minor changes that were made to the document.
Does that answer your question, Councillor Chisholm?
Yeah, a little bit more. I need another step in here. Does
Yeah.
the senior still have the authority? They have their own setup with respect to accounts and so forth. And they do put a lot of financial monies into the centers. They still have that ability to do that through with the town, in cooperation with the town?
They do still have a fund, yes, but there was a change that was made prior to me coming to the town where that target fund that was previously charged for every time that they participated, now it's just a flat rate, a really low flat rate that's charged for those that are participating. So the revenue is really just driven by the cafes that they operate.
So, so at one time there was wasn't a percentage with respect to the program fee that they would get. So that's eliminated now.
I believe so, Councillor. I'd have to do a little bit more of a deeper dive because that may have been some time ago.
Okay.
My understanding is that there was a pay per visit fee that was in place, that they had improved the process because it was quite cumbersome for seniors to have to pay every time, and moved to a membership model, a low cost membership model within the last couple of years.
Does the membership fee go to the seniors, or does that go to the town?
I believe it goes to the town, but I can
Okay.
confirm for you.
Yeah, I'd like to know that. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Chisholm. Any other questions on these staff memos? Seeing none, we don't need a mover. No, okay. Any new business? Item 14. Oh, that'll come in new business? Okay. Councillor Hasathiel.
We got there so fast. Yes, we have a notice of motion. Can I borrow yours, Dave, to read? Thanks. We have a notice of motion, and the intent of it is we are very appreciative. There's an invitation to the ministers, but we also have residents requesting a public meeting. And while we had a late-breaking report that came out from staff, it still remains important that we hopefully get a public meeting on the province's revised transit-oriented community. Would you like me to read it into the record?
It's up to you, Councillor, if you want to summarize or read it in or assume we've all read it. I'll leave it up to you.
Okay. I will assume you've all read it. I mean, the most critical pieces here are that while council will hopefully now have an opportunity to meet with the ministers and further discuss the TOC proposal, I believe it's important that residents rightfully expect transparent, timely, and meaningful communication from their municipal government regarding major planning proposals that affect their neighborhoods and daily lives, even when such proposals originate from the province and fall outside our control. And so the request is for, through Mayor Burton, that Infrastructure Ontario provide a comprehensive presentation to Oakville Council and the public on the TOC, as well as, should the province choose not to present, that the staff be prepared to deliver a presentation to the public so that we can, as one of the delegates said the other night, shine some light and sun on this for the public. And it's clear through professionals what the details are of the proposal, so they can absorb it, understand it, and then make their comments as well.
Okay, thank you, Councillor, and that's moved by yourself and seconded by Councillor Giddings, and it will be on the agenda for discussion at the next meeting. Okay, so on to item 15, regional reports regarding town boards advisory committees. There are none. So item 16, request for reports. We have a request, which is 16.1, road safety review of North Service Road, Dorval Drive to Notting Hill Gate. Moved by Councillor Shi and seconded by Councillor Chisholm. Councillor, maybe I'll just go on and read it in here, seeing it's brief. That staff be directed to undertake a road safety review along North Service Road between Dorval Drive and Notting Hill Gate, including consideration for pedestrian and cyclist safety, and report back to council with findings and recommendations. Is there anything further you want to say, Councillor Shi?
Thank you, Acting Mayor. So, as many of you know, there's an 8-year-old girl, Melody Xu, recently lost her life after being struck by a car while she and her mother were walking on the sidewalk to pick up her 3-year-old brother from a nearby daycare. I met with the dad and the mom last week, and they asked whether the town could do something to make that area safer for other families, because there's many neighbors. They have their kids to walk to pick up and send their kids to the daycare as their family as usual. So that is why I'm moving this motion today. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Shi, and we all appreciate you bringing this forward, and certainly our heart goes out to the family. Was there anything further, Councillor Chisholm? Are you good?
No, that's fine. Thank you very
Okay.
much, Councillor Shi.
And we will get a staff report back at the appropriate time. On to item 17, consideration and reading of the bylaws. There are 2 bylaws. Does anyone want to move and second that? Councillor Longo and Councillor O'Meara. Anybody opposed? Seeing none, the motion carries. And on to adjournment. All right, got through my first council meeting, maybe in record time here, 7:46 p.m. Thank you very much. All right, we'll see you next time. Take care. Bye.
Recording stopped.